Thank you, Honourable Speaker. And the Minister still did not get back to the acceptance or my assertion that this still is about a privatization issue, because you know, if a commercial outfitter is bringing in somebody here and charging $10,000 for a hunt, say, and obviously making a great profit on that, and I would hope that they do, because they will spend some of that money here, that's hugely different from a BC resident. So obviously the Minister doesn't want to go there, but I think this is about privatization. But Honourable Speaker, let's just look at some of the examples. First of all, we know that the decision that the Minister made on December the 14th, clearly he felt he made the wrong decision because he made changes in January the 15th. So there was a recognition by the government that they had overstepped in terms of making that decision. And yet, in spite of that, there are still some outstanding issues. I mean, you know, if you look at Region 4 for bighorn sheep, the Minister's own experts, presumably some of them are sitting behind him, suggested that the Ministry recommendation was for 68% to be for residents and 32% for guides. We ended up with 40% for guides and 60% for residents. So, you know, what is the excuse for a situation where something that is as prized as a bighorn sheep has accessibility of 40% to non-residents and only 60% for a BC resident?
Minister?
So thank you, Chair, and to the member opposite. Firstly, the member opposite talked about the initial decision and then some adjustments to the decision, portrayed that as a mistake. I certainly disagree with that assertion. This is about you know, an informed decision based on a lot of information, but then also receiving some feedback around specific hunts, and I listened and made some adjustments, and don't view that as being a mistake. And in fact, in some specific hunts, made some modest changes. Elk on the island, the sheep in the Kootenays, again based on input. I think what's important to recognize in the Kootenays, and we're talking specifically about that and the split there. It's important to recognize a number of things that have also were part of the decision. Firstly, that we have removed success factors. We have removed the opportunity for any access to fractional or unallocated allocated territories, something that the guide outfitters wanted, and particularly guide outfitters in that region would have liked, but we said no. Those we're not providing those in terms of the decision, and that means that those unallocated areas remain open and 100% open to resident hunters. In the West Kootenays, you know, the greatest portion of the region are in the unallocated territories. So the other decision we've made now is that the split applies, you know, strictly within the guide outfitter territories, or the guide outfitter. So that 60-40 split applies in those specific territories, because we now apply it on the territory basis rather than the full regional basis. When you take the unallocated areas and other areas where the resident hunters have 100% access to the resource, when you work it all out in terms of the harvest opportunities and the harvest success, the split between on the resource in that region on sheep is probably much closer to 75-25 than it is to 60-40.